I'm alive. Let's go. I got 2 more things done today, y'all. I was school productive, but I was productive. And I was about to do work, but then for some reason my mouse just disappeared. And then I was like, okay, I guess today's going to be another rest day. And it was like, I can get to work tomorrow. So I think, I kind of sort of know what I'm going to do. Not really. If I knew what I was going to do, I would have had a title. Right? If you haven't figured it out yet, I'm really bad at titles. And I tried with the last ones, and then I went back and I retitled the Aquarius one. And I was trying to title the Pisces one. I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what or who or where or when or why this is, but it is. I'm using the vice versa, so I'm probably going to be reading. And I wanted to put on the earrings that I like. I got these from my friend, from my friend's girlfriend, technically. Oh, there was a 4 wands. Okay. So I'll give this 2 more like this. Then I'll give it a cut. And I'll just go to 10. Oh, the cut. Almost forgot the cut. Oh. Let's see. I don't know what this is. But I guess I'm going to go with it. And at the bottom of the deck is the back of the 2 of Swords. She's gorgeous. It's a new moon right now, but that moon is full. I feel like this is speaking to... Is this the moon card? Ooh! Her whole chest out. Well, it is a new moon, so I guess I'll take it. And then here's the 6 of Wands under both of these. So the 2 of Swords and this moon card. I'll mark these as not for children. So her whole chest is out, y'all. But see, it's full on the front. Oh, there you go. Full on the front, new on the back. I'm actually interested to see who would that be. It's probably somebody Egyptian. So how I have this laid out, there are 3 9 cards. There's one at the bottom that leads to 2. And then from those 2 is 3. So it kind of sort of branches out. How would this work though? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 ish. So there's a left path, a middle path, and the right path. On the right path is the back of the 8 of Wands. There's a lot of darkness on this side. So it's the back of the 8 of Wands, with Pegasus coming in to dish out whatever is deserved in this deck. And then here is the back of the Hermit card. Or is this the front? No, this is the back. The egg is on both sides. But on this side, it's behind him. Is that a dog? I might have to read it, but it almost looked like a dog. No, maybe. Well, yeah. It's kind of sort of looking like a dog. And there's the back of the Hermit. You can see the moon up there. I don't think the moon is on the front. Mm-mm. On the front, there's no moon. This is the front of these cards. On the back, there's a moon. And then there's Pegasus up there, sort of at the same spot. And then I was like, is that a dog in there? Look like a dog, don't it? That's a few dogs. Those are the dogs from the moon card, aren't they? Look at this. You see the moon and those two dogs? And then you see the two dogs right there? Typically, it's like a dog and a wolf. But on the back of the moon card, Siri! Girl, ain't nobody even say your name. I'm sorry. It's interesting. So we have a full moon in this hermit card. And we're in a new moon right now. And what came out is the space of the new moon. And in the space of the new moon, you don't see the dogs. It's just that bare chested lady. But it's like the dogs have come to this hermit. And then it's the back of the lovers as well. So this is kind of sort of intense. Oh, I guess I could do it that way. I wasn't going to do it that way, but I could. So this is the right path. So then, oops, no, it's this way. Coming up the center, connected to this lover's card, is the back of Justice and this Two of Pentacles. The back of the Two of Pentacles. It's the backside of a lot of cards. The back of Justice speaks to the energy of speaks to the energy. The back of Justice is kind of sort of about um, how we may not have gotten a swift reaping when it comes to what is deserved or what is. It's, I guess it's not necessarily bad. It's just the space of like the verdict has not yet been issued. It's like the deliberation is complete, but the verdict hasn't yet been issued. And it's almost the space of like someone who thought that it didn't appear that justice would be served, but now it's about to, basically. And on this left side is the front. Oh no, wait. Oh, this is the back. Yeah. The back of this 10 of Pentacles where you see the couple instead of, the grandfather with the child and the dog. Where's the dog? Yeah, there's the dog. Granddaddy ain't even got no kid in this. It's just granddaddy and the dog. Dogs are a theme, I guess, right now. I don't know if y'all could hear Chino barking in the back, but he was back there barking. This is almost the energy of a couple seeking his blessing. I don't know who's introducing who to whom, but like there you see them, but now it's like whatever that is. And then here's the backside of the Six of Cups being the second card. And then here is the backside of the Four Swords. It's the backside of all of these. What is going on? And then sitting at the bottom is the front side of the Seven of Cups. So ultimately, at the end of the day, this is about choices. A lot of things are about choices. I don't know what this video is. Hey, Mimi. How's it going? I'm tired. Ready for bed. And this is interesting because we have the front side. And again, this is the only card on the front. Every other card is on the back. And every other card, or most of the other cards, happen at night. And on the front side of the Seven of Cups, we see that sun or that solar, that light, that luminous being, whatever that is. But on the back is where it's at night, right? And so you would think that this is the side that would come out, but it's actually this one. Your hormones are lit again. Oh, you need a ice bath? Is that what you is that what you're talking about? And then again at the bottom of the deck, and I pulled the card under it, was this Two of Swords with the full moon, and then this moon card with the new moon. And this is interesting because it's either, excuse me, what is a full moon versus the new moon in the space of intuition, in the space of the emotional body? I mean, it's like 15 planets retrograde right now, so take your pick. Excuse me. Yeah, it's like, what is the it's almost with this new moon. I feel like with this full moon, because this is the Two of Swords, right? So she got a blindfold on anyway. So to her, it doesn't too much necessarily matter if the moon is new or full, because either way, the Two of Swords has a blindfold, like almost always. But then you have this new moon here, and it's something that is like quiet. I mean, I guess this is all about choices. Oh, yeah, choices. And then here's all the options right there. This is all about choices. How am I going to do this? I'm going to take it tier by tier. I'm going to start with the card at the bottom, then I'll read them left to right. And I've already showed y'all what lines up with everything. I do want to get into this overall first, though. I've been loving reading the book. Something in me was like, no book. No book. What? No book. No book. No book. This is just general. This isn't for anything in particular. I mean, I feel like I've retrograded the retrogrades to completion. I've already done like three, two, two or three different retrograde things. So this is just like how I pull for the day sometimes, even if it isn't necessarily like for that day. It's just whatever comes out that day. It's kind of like that because I didn't do it earlier. And so here we have a space. This is all about choices in the space of option. And I feel like with this new moon card, I feel like with this new moon, hold up. Oh, I want to read it. I want to read it because she got things in her hands. So I was like, wait, this is a light. All right, I'm just gonna read this moon card because I want to. It's kind of sort of that simple. I keep opening to this judgment, to the back of judgment. No, that's temperance. I thought it was judgment. Okay. So, but this moon card, don't mind the chests. This is 18 plus. It says the moon has passed between the earth and the sun.
putting the sun into full eclipse. The day sky fills with stars. Near the oh wow.
So this is actually an eclipse. Oh, wow. That changes things. I'm glad I read this because that changes things. You know how they say, like, clear as mud? Like, is this clear as mud? Or, like, mm, what does that mean? Like it means, I feel like it means a few things. I said eclipse like 3 times yesterday. I was like, this is for the eclipse. I mean, retrograde. Well, maybe like 2 times. I did. I was trying to say retrograde season, but I kept saying eclipse season. Um, I mean, eclipse season is coming up, but I wasn't pulling for the eclipses. I was pulling for the retrogrades. So, well, here are the eclipses right here in this moon card. So, this is a moon. This is a moon card that's actually the sun. And I'm saying it's the sun because it's happening in daytime, but it looks like it's nighttime because of the moon. And then we got these. What is that? What's that constellation? I'm gonna keep reading. When is it? So the next new moon is an eclipse. The next full moon is an eclipse. So in 2 weeks, because it's like every 2 weeks you get another lunation cycle. So in 2 weeks, the full moon in Sagittarius will be a lunar eclipse. On the um, solstice, there'll be there'll be a solar eclipse, and I think that's a new moon solar eclipse. And then on the full moon after that, I believe there'll be the second lunar eclipse. So it's like June 5th, the 21st, and 2 weeks after the 21st. So yeah, is it the 5th or like the 3rd? I think it's the 5th, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know it's like the next moon cycle, and then on the solstice we have the solar eclipse, and then on the moon cycle after that, it's another lunar eclipse. So I'm gonna have to go take a picture of that red moon. Let's see what else is in here. I was like, why this? So you telling me it's the middle of the day? Okay, now I was gonna say it's the middle of the day and this woman ain't wearing no shirt, girl. Maybe she on a resort somewhere or something. Maybe that's her yard. Let me let her live her life. That's her life. She can do whatever she wants to. She ain't hurting nobody. So the moon has passed between the earth and the sun, putting the sun into full eclipse. The day sky fills with stars. Near the horizon, the constellation Cancer, the crab, is seen. I should have known this was Cancer. It's the moon card. Duh. The crab is seen. It seems to float above the head of the woman rising from the water, just as the crab rose on the other side of the card. The moon towers are shown to be open at the back, as with the tower card, but there is no rubble, no sense of destruction here. These towers were in these towers were intentionally built to both reveal and conceal. One side open, one side closed. The imagination has free flow in the place of dreams and visions. When you get this side in a reading, the cycles of the moon reflected in the cycles of women, and thus the moon card is a card of feminine power. The woman here, the dark side of the high priestess, offering an initiation of sorts, a choice between a choice between a bowl of phosphorescent seawater and a glowing egg. Which are you most drawn to? And what does that tell you about your psyche? Remember,
Rational solar thinking has no place here. The moon's shadow has turned.
Day into night. Oof. So rational thinking is out of the window. And that is confirmed by this Two of Swords, the back of the Two of Swords in front of this full moon. The time for rational thinking is apparently over. So, this is feminine power. We got a bowl of phosphorescent sea waves or a glowing egg. It's like, which one are you more attracted to? If the camera was better, I feel like it would do the card justice, but are you attracted to the glowing egg or the bowl of phosphorescent seawater? And then there's the constellation of Cancer, and then there's the solar eclipse. There are the two towers, one of them open, one of them closed, to both reveal and conceal. Like I said, it's about choices. It's all about choices. Are you okay? So, in the space of choices, we have the front side of the Seven of Cups. We see what's interesting is there are two faces. You see the face in the moon, and then you see this face in the sun. Even though this is the card face up, I feel like this moon card, the back of the moon, is telling me that these two faces are talking to each other. And while they're having a conversation, we're in this space of the eclipse. This is a conversation between the light and the shadow. So this is very, 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 very Job energy. And I know I've been talking about Job for like months now, it seems. It feels like I've been talking about Job for months. But again, in the story of Job, God let the devil go and take everything from Job. He let him do it. And the devil was like, hey, can I go like mess with Job? And God was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And then everybody was like, wow, Job, like you used to be so blessed. Like God didn't abandon you, ain't he? And Job was like, no, see, my faith is stronger than that. And they was like, what? If I was you, I would be cursing God for taking everything away from me. And Job was like, well, that speaks of your faith. And that ain't got nothing to do with me. And it's very much so that it's almost like there's this time of silence. Almost like we're in this period where people are acting and behaving like God isn't watching. Like that's the vibe, but I don't think it's necessarily all of that. But in this space where everything is slow, where everything is quiet, because see, the thing about the daytime is, like it said, the daytime is the space of logical thinking. The nighttime is the space of intuition, because when it's dark outside and when you can't see anything, it's like your other senses kind of sort of kick into high gear. And as creatures on this planet that aren't necessarily nocturnal, our survival instincts kick in when we can't see. Now, in the daytime, it's like, you can rest because your brain is actively processing everything and it doesn't sort of need those other systems to be as in high gear. But the thing about the eclipse is that even though we should be in the mode of listening to our intuition, since it's still the daytime, our body doesn't switch over. It's like we're still operating as if it's daytime, even though it's dark outside, because it's still the daytime, right? This is an interruption of cycles. This is like we interrupt your regularly scheduled broadcast to bring you options. Some of these are good. I don't want to say good and bad. Some of these options are better than other options. But again, like this card said, do you choose the glowing egg or the phosphorescent seawater? And what does the choice that you make say about you? So on the left side, we either have this Four of Swords or the Lover's card. Is that another moon? Is that a whole full moon? Is this a whole full moon? What is this? You see this? I think that's a whole full moon up there. Because on the other side of the card, maybe not. But I think that's a whole full moon. That's a whole full moon on this Four of Swords. What is going on? There are moons all over the place. I mean, everything is happening in the dark. This is the backside of everything. Literally, the only card that came out with the front side is this Seven of Cups. Everything else is sort of flipped. So on this side, on the left side, we have this Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords is about a period of rest after a period of heartbreak, honestly, because you're coming off of the Three of Swords going into the Four, right? But for some reason, this is giving me vibes of someone who is preparing for. Both of these are preparation in a sense. But this is someone who is preparing for battle. This is like, because after the Four of Swords is the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is the fight, right? So this is like the night before he goes off to the fight. And I know I did something, I can't remember what I titled it. It was like the War of the Horse and something else. And it was basically about like, it's time to get up and go fight Achilles. And if you're so worried about the state of your emotions and your vulnerabilities that you don't show up to the fight, it's like I don't know, because it's like Achilles is so interesting because he had that glaring weakness, right? His heel, but he still showed up to everything. Like, he didn't let his heel stop him from doing whatever. And yeah, he was like invincible outside of that heel, but he knew that that was his weakness. And if you're on the battlefield, anything can happen. But he chose to show up anyway, right? I feel like this is the night before the battle. This is someone who's been preparing for something in the dark. And then over here on this side, and I keep doing that, on this other side, with the back of the lovers, you have the silver urn and the golden urn. Just like there are two keys to the kingdom, the silver key that is typically depicted with the moon, and the golden key that's typically depicted with the sun. And those keys, the Hierophant holds. And the Hierophant is 5, the lovers is 6, right? Now, this is all about experiencing things from the other side. And then you also have Mercury up there, and you have what you could call a Merkaba. But it's honestly giving me like Lotus vibes. But it's like it's closing up. And I don't know what that means. It's closing up like it's like time is reversing. Like this lotus has already bloomed, but now it's like it's closing up and it's turning back into a seed. Someone is shutting down, I think. On this side, it's like someone is shutting down on the right side. On the left side, someone is preparing. And this is connected to the space of options. So, oof, why did I come live? I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, what am I getting myself in for? Logic is out the window. What you thought you knew might not be what's actually going on. And that's because your decision making abilities are being tested right now. But they're being tested by means of, it's kind of sort of everything, but it's like I feel like a lot of us are gonna be put in situations where we're supposed to fail. It's like it's gonna come in a way that's gonna make success very hard for you. And it's intentional. It's not supposed to be easy. And I kind of got this feeling like nobody's listening, but everyone's watching. Yeah. I mean, it's not like you're not supposed to fail, like you're supposed to succeed, but this is going to be like the perfect situation to get. It's like it's going to be so easy to fail, whatever this is. It's going to be so easy. And it's like between these two, and I didn't say it, but I was trying to like communicate it. It's like no one, you're going to feel like no one is listening, but everyone is watching. And the time for sitting and waiting for instruction is kind of sort of over. The time for action is now. And it's like, it's not that no one is listening, but this is an eclipse. So if you see that it's nighttime outside, and if you're treating this like it's nighttime, it's going to be very easy for you to make a misstep because it's actually daytime right now. And I know the card was like, the moon shadow is telling you to throw out logical thought and blah, 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 whatever. But it's almost like the opposite because at nighttime, you can see the stars shine. We're going to be seeing stars in broad daylight. And then there's going to be an opportunity in this unique space. There's going to be an opportunity for us to see stars that are actually brighter than the sun. That was so weird. I almost saw like a string of lights somewhere, but I'm like, I don't have any lights down there. Like, what is that? But it's gonna be possible for a star to be brighter than the sun. And it's like the reason why I say it's gonna be really, really, really easy to fail is because like looking at these paths, you would think that the path connected to the lovers has the best ending, and that the path connected to the four of swords where no one is moving or this dude isn't moving, like you would think that this would end up better than this, right? But on this path again, and I'm not going to go through these one by one because I don't need to. On this path, we have the four of swords, the six of cups, and the 10 of pentacles. I think the 10 of pentacles is pretty gosh darn good, especially for this being our actual lives, right? Because we're still living our lives, even if this is like spiritual, whatever. Like we still have lives to live, right? And so this is about striking when the iron is hot. This is about holding when you know to hold and moving when you know to move. With the six of cups right here, this is all about sort of the nightmares. I'm feeling like this is the nightmares that we had as children. And with this four of swords, it's time for us to go into the darkness and to conquer those nightmares. And then that ultimately leads to the 10 of pentacles up here, where we're sort of receiving our blessing from whoever this person is. I don't know why Santa Claus just popped into my mind, but maybe because we're going to be getting presents. Christmas is going to come early. Maybe Christmas is going to come by July. Christmas in July is a thing, right? Maybe. Um, in July, what? Venus would be direct by July. We would have the first two eclipse is over. I think the last one is in July. Venus doesn't go into Cancer until like August. I guess the Mayan year starts over in July. I'm trying to think like what's happening in July. I don't know. But yeah, this is about like this is the night before the battle. This is all about the preparation. And so, but on this side, it's like you have this lovers in reverse, and then this hermit, and then the back of this Eight of Pentacles, where Pegasus is coming down to deliver something. Don't know what Pegasus is coming to deliver, but if you're good, it's good. If you're bad, it's going to be really nasty. But in the space of the back of the lovers, then we go into this hermit mode, and then this. I feel like what's missing here is that preparation that's supposed to be happening. Because if the lovers is a choice, and if this hermit is in the dark, it's like this hermit is lost. This is a lost hermit. I don't think I've ever felt the hermit as lost, but I'm gonna say he's lost because the dogs from the moon card are down there, and then you see that full moon up there. But that's not the time and the space that we're in. It's actually daytime, right? And so I don't know. It's like someone needs to take off the sunglasses. I still have my eclipse glasses from a few years ago. Hey, I need to find them. I'm sorry. But those things are really, really, really dark. And if you're not looking at the sun when you wear those, you probably don't see anything. And what he's looking at is the moon. Now, is the moon behind him or is he heading towards the moon? The moon is behind him. Maybe he's not lost. It feels like he's lost. The Seven of Cups actually came out for you do a the Seven of Cups actually came out for Sagittarius. And in the Seven of Cups in the water known, there's one cup facing the sun and six cups facing the moon. Honestly, it's not confusing, but it kind of is. Maybe it's actually not to take either path, but to proceed down the middle. But maybe not, because all we got down here is justice and the Two of Pentacles. And this is all about balance. For a situation that has seemed to not have been balanced for a long time, it is now going to be coming into balance. Because that's what the back of this justice card speaks to. The back of the justice card is like, you know, you thought you got away because you ain't got caught yet, but rest assured they're coming for you and they know you did it. And this is someone like, you don't have any proof. You don't have any proof. What proof do you have? And then, I don't know, they set up a secret camera somewhere, or you was talking to one of your girlfriends or one of your dudes, one of your homeboys, and they kind of sort of turned you in. And like, you thought that they ain't have no proof. You thought they weren't going to come, but they're coming. Or maybe this is a lot. This is a lot. This is more than I bargained for. But I'm going to sit here until I get it. How many cards do I have? 9, 11. Do I have an 11 card spread or a 9 card spread? 3, 7, 8. I do. No, that's 7. Something is telling me to like rearrange these because it's almost like this. Like they kind of sort of collapse in on each other. But it's like, what is that? It's supposed to do this, but it keeps doing that. Like a split end. I need a haircut. My mom's supposed to wash my hair. She ain't washed my hair yet. I can wash my own hair, but she wash it better. Hold up. Okay. So this speaks to cycles and feminine power, right? Feminine power is an ability to be all encompassing. And I say that because in a lot of um, okay, I just took a pause because I was about to yawn and I didn't want to, so I waited for the yawn to pass. Because oh no, there it is. Oh, I don't want to do it. It's like because I was reading something on Kali and Vishnu, and they said that feminine energy or feminine gods can be creator, sustainer, and destroyer. But when it comes to the masculine side, it's either creation or destruction or balance. The masculine side doesn't play all three, but the feminine side does. And if you think of a mother, she gives birth to that life. She nurtures and sustains that life, and she will end your life if you go after her offspring, right? It's about embodying all of it to reveal and conceal. And here she is, bare chested, bearing it all, rising from the water. Venus. Is Venus going to be direct on the eclipse? So I know Venus goes direct in June at some point. This is Venus. Maybe that's her light side and her dark side, and her sort of reconciling the two. But it's Venus because Venus was born from the sea foam, right? Born from the water. And I think I saw something that said that Venus is actually like a Titan, maybe, or she's more closely related to the Titans because she wasn't born from Kronos and Gaia. Because I think Uranus and Rhea gave birth to the Titans, and then Kronos and Gaia gave birth to the gods. But she came from the sea foam, born of the sea foam in that shell, the birth of Venus. This is difficult, y'all, but I feel like it's right in front of me. I'm going to see what's on the two sides of the title card because I want to say I need to mind my own business. and just let y'all figure this out. And it ain't because I'm trying to be lazy. That ain't it. Let's see. So it's the Nine of Swords and the Two of Wands. Yup. The Two of Wands and the Nine of Swords are around this title card. Now in the two of Wands, y'all see that? Y'all see that? The glowing egg that he chose? And then on this other side is somebody locked in. This is the back of the Two of Wands and the back of the two. No, it's the back of both cards. It's the back of everything. The only front side is the Seven of Cups. Neptune is about to start wreaking havoc in Pisces, y'all. And Mars is closing in on Neptune. So logic is out of the window, I guess. And I guess that's what this moon card is saying. I guess that's what this moon card is talking about. Logic is about to go right out the window because Neptune is entering or is in its last decan of Pisces before it goes into Aries, right? And then Mars is in Pisces right now, coming up on Neptune. So Neptune is going to get you to see whatever it wants you to see. It may be it could be anything. But if you know any Pisces, how sometimes they just like on another world, living in their own fantasy, illusion, rose tinted glasses, not looking at anything how it actually is. That's Neptune. And Neptune is at home in Pisces. And Mars is in Pisces with Neptune. And Mars is the action. And Neptune is the fantasy, is the illusion. And Mars coming out of Aquarius. It's out of Aquarius where it's in an air sign and it's rational, maybe, or for Mars. I don't know if I would ever say Mars is like rational, but this is crazy. I feel like this is chaotic. Hold on, I'm gonna see when they conjunct. Birds, Bort. I'm sorry. Let me see. This is a wild. That's why I'm so confused. I mean, I am a Pisces, but this is a heavy Neptunian influence right here. This is a heavy Neptunian influence. And I know Neptune has been aspecting things, but I haven't too much necessarily paid attention to it. And at first, I was feeling it as a good thing because it's like, oh, Neptune is our dreams, and Mars is in Pisces with Neptune, so it's going to be acting. It's going to be us acting on our dreams, like getting our dreams. But we may be eating trash. Have y'all ever seen A Wrinkle in Time when they go to Camazotz or whatever the planet is, and they're on the beach and they're so hungry and they're eating that food, and then Charles Wallace is like, this food tastes like sand because it is sand, and the other dude is just like munching down on that food, eating it like it's gourmet, and he can't even tell that he's eating sand. Like, it's that energy. It's very much that, where if you aren't, I feel like it's gonna be a whole bunch of people eating sand. He's like, I'm so hungry. Also, Icarus is in Pisces right now. I'm on this app, Time Nomad, sorry. I've never seen Icarus outside of Aquarius. And I was doing the Sagittarius reading earlier, and I was like, oh, the only thing in like Aquarius right now is probably like Saturn and Icarus. And then I look and Icarus is in Pisces. And then I was like, for the Sagittarius reading, I'm like, Neptune, like the mist of Neptune is so thick right now that it is shrouding the sun. It's this space of the eclipse, right? And so Icarus thinks it's nighttime. And Icarus is like, well, last Icarus is trying to learn from his previous mistake, from his past life. And so he's like, last time I flew too close to the sun, my wings melted and, I plummeted. But this time it's nighttime. So the sun isn't out. I can fly as high as I want to. It's like the mist from Neptune is so thick, it's shrouding out the sun. And Icarus is flying higher and higher and higher and higher, thinking that he's learned his lesson from last time, but in reality, he's repeating it. And it's not actually nighttime. The sun is still out. There's just an eclipse. And as soon as this moon begins to move, he's going to plummet. So, does any of this even matter? Does any of this matter? One second. What are you crying for? We'll be fine. Just, be smart, I guess. I don't know. Pallas is in Aquarius, though, right now. Pallas is retrograde in Aquarius, and Pallas is Athena, goddess of wisdom, strategy, good war. Strategy goes out the window because she in retrograde, about to go back to Capricorn. Saturn is going back to Capricorn. Oof. Caries is in Pisces as well. So let's see, let's get this a week. Let's look at June 10th. So this time, June 10th, Mars is going to be 18 degrees. Carius is going to be, oh, so Icarus, oh my gosh. Remember how I said that Icarus is about to, like, Icarus is getting too close to the sun and he thought he learned his lesson, but Neptune got Icarus thinking that the sun ain't out right now and how he about to plummet. Y'all see that little R? By June 15th, Icarus is going to be retrograde, falling back to Aquarius. I was like, I've never seen Icarus outside of Aquarius. It's about to retrograde and go back. So, you think you're about to eat sand. Well, just don't eat the sand then. All you got to do is not eat it. Or, I mean, I guess if you recognize it, then, it won't be that bad. Just don't eat a whole 5-course meal of sand. Yeah, so Icarus is going to be. So, oh, whoa. There we go. There we go. So on June 15th, Mars is going to be past Neptune. So between the 10th and the 15th, Mars, probably like the 14th or the 13th, maybe the 13th, Mars and Neptune are going to be conjunct. So that's when folks are going to be eating sand. And that's before the solar eclipse. So it's like maybe people will realize when that solar eclipse hit, oh my gosh, I've been eating sand. And then you see the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is the only card that, like, the right side of the card is out. For all of the other cards, it's the back. Every other card happens at night, right? This is the only card that happens in the daytime. Besides that 10 of Pentacles, right? But to get to that 10 of Pentacles, you got to pass through the back of the Six of Cups and the back of the Four of Swords. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Prepare yourself now, I guess. Um, I almost want to say that every option is going to be sand, but certainly that can't be the case, right? Where's the magician? You know, I'm not going to look for the magician. I feel like instead of taking any of these options, we should be creating our own. And also in the Sagittarius reading, the Hermit came out, and I was like, in the space of darkness, there are going to be all of these things approaching you, and if you don't have a light, it's like there are these ghouls or monsters who look like people, but when you shine the light on them, you can see that they're not. And so, if you're not in touch and in tune to your own light, it's you're basically going to be guessing who is and who isn't, what is and what isn't, what's real, what's fake, what's actually for you. But again, since what, December, November, it's been like about clearing karma and then coming into these spaces of realization and doing this and doing that. Like a whole lot has been asked of us in preparation for this moment. And I mean, if y'all eating sand, y'all eating sand. I'm gonna just try to make sure I'm not eating sands. I'm not gonna try to make sure. I'm going to make sure I'm not eating sand. And for who else is eating sand, hey, that's on y'all. I feel like this is all individual, and that's why it's been so important. Like I've been saying, like the spirit has given us the keys, and they're asking us to drive. So we should have been driving while we had supervision. We should have been driving while, the instructor was there to help us, because now it's like for the folks who weren't driving, I don't know. And I guess not everyone is supposed to drive, right? Anyone can learn, but not everyone does. I don't even have a license right now, honestly. I had a license and I lost it because I switched my residency, right? And you can't get an ID and a license in the same day. And I was already getting my ID. And they were like, "Well, do you have a license?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Okay, it's ours." I was like, "Okay." I mean, it was expired anyway. So I haven't driven in a long time, actually. I don't too much miss it, honestly. Okay, it's time to rearrange this again. And it's time to take this out. Okay, this is what I'm going to put all these together. And I'm going to close my eyes, give this a few little shuffles. And we're going to lay it out one by one. I'm gonna see if maybe if I don't try to look at the whole picture at one time, if I'll be able to make sense out of it. Honestly, I don't think I will. Um, and it's not because I can't. I kind of sort of don't want to. If I'm being completely honest, I don't want to, because I can understand the space that this is, and it honestly doesn't matter what you know or what you're exposed to, because at the end of the day, it's going to look so good, whatever it is, that if you aren't solid in yourself, it doesn't matter what you know. You won't be able to resist it. It doesn't matter if you know it's a trap, right? I was watching Eureka, right? And there were like these body doubles, and the lady was about to get rid of all the body doubles, and then a body double of her daughter comes, and she's like, "Mommy, like, don't do it," or whatever. She's like, "You're not my daughter, you're not real." It's like, "Mommy, like, please." And then dude comes up behind her and knocks her out. And it's like, you already knew that that wasn't your daughter. Like, girl, your real daughter is in there asleep on the table, and you know what, she could use you right now. So can you get rid of the fake so you can save your real, like, your real life daughter? It's like, I mean, I guess I understand, like, if something looks like your kid, you not being able to do whatever. But if your real child is in danger, I think, you should be able to get rid of the fake. Because my real baby need me right now. And so I don't care what face you're wearing. I know you're not that person. But I mean, shoot. Yeah. I don't think, let's see, I'll pull three cards. I'll pull three. I hope I get I would like love, let's see, the Lovers, the Eight of Wands, and then that Ten of Pentacles. That would be nice. I don't think that's gonna happen. Okay, let's see. I'll pick this one, and then this one right here. Oh, I got two. I knew this card was gonna come out for sure. So these are the cards that came out. The Moon card, the back of Justice, the Two of Pentacles, and the back of the Six of Cups. These two, I pulled both of these at the same time. Resist, resist. Oh, Venus is retrograde. Mercury or Mars is about to conjunct Neptune. Neptune is in a powerful position. All of the planets that give us like clarity, let's say like Saturn, right? Saturn would be like, does that actually make sense? Pluto would be like, this is, I don't know. Jupiter would be like, would figure it out, right? I feel like Saturn would never fall for it in the first place. Jupiter would figure it out. Pluto is just like so far removed from everything that it wouldn't even know what to show Pluto to trick Pluto. And then Venus is just like, I'll try anything once. It's like, okay. I mean, Mercury is so good. So, North Node in Gemini. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this was a waste of time. That's a whole hour of my life I ain't gonna get back. I mean, it's fine, but let's see. Anything want to come out? And before this happened, the Six of Swords came out, and the back of no, the front of the Six of Swords came out, and the back of the King of Swords came out. And the back of the King of Swords is all about standing your ground. It's very solitary, and he has his sword grounded. Like his sword is in the ground, and there's a lightning storm. So the lightning is gonna strike that sword. The King of Swords was going through the storm alone instead of taking the escape. So I feel like it can speak to an element of pride, but it can also speak to an element of protection and what we feel that we're doing to protect whatever, right? give this one more. Ain't nothing coming out, so I guess that's how I'll leave it. I guess I'll just say, but I mean, I feel like that stuff probably isn't going to come for a while yet. Um, that will be after the first eclipse, before the second eclipse, before the equinox, um, before Cancer season. It's all happening this season, and we did see the back of the Lovers card. So I guess if I take the back of the Lovers card to be this season, that went into the Hermit, and then it went into the Eight of Wands, right? So it could be the case that not everything is going to be bad, right? Just like I said, I feel like it's up to us to make our own options, but the things that are kind of sort of the defaults being presented might not be that great. And depending on the space and the place that you're in right now, depending on what your relationship is right now and how active your discernment is, but not only how active it is, but how much you actually like trust it. Because it's almost for some reason on this channel I get a whole bunch of, not for some reason, I guess I keep watching them, so that's why they keep popping up. But some like very like Christian centric things, right? And she was talking about how it was so interesting because she popped up, I clicked on her, now she's talking about marriage season is coming up. She's talking about basically it's very, very, very similar to the kind of sort of twin flame journey. Very similar, and it's extremely interesting. But she's like, God has given these Marys the vision of sort of what they've been impregnated with. And these Marys have known that they're going to be doing whatever, right? And now she's like, God is talking to the Josephs because, before they were officially married, Mary was pregnant and Joseph was like, bruh, like, what you mean you pregnant? Like, you supposed to be my wife. And he was like, should I divorce her? Oh my gosh. I don't like this card. I do like this one though. I love this one. And that one's pretty cool. And that one's not bad. Hey, and then there's that Eight of Wands somewhere. Anyway, she was saying how, and then Joseph had a dream, right? The angels came to Joseph in dreams, like all the time, several times. And first, the angels was like, okay, Joseph, you need to take your family and get out because they come and try to kill Jesus. And then they was like, okay, Joseph, the people who was trying to kill Jesus is gone. And then Joseph found out that some folks, some questionable folks, was still like around, and then there was like, okay, Joseph, we'll go here instead, and so he had to. And then again, it goes back to Isaac. I can't remember when I was talking about the story of Isaac. It was yesterday at some point, and it's like the voice of spirit is telling you to do this, and the voice of spirit is telling you to do that, and you're doing this and you're doing that, right? And I was talking about it's about getting exposed to this. It's about the exposure, not having a full blown experience. And it's like, okay, go up the mountain with Isaac, put Isaac, lay him down. No, sacrifice Isaac. And I don't know why I said it like that, but that's what they said. And then it was like, oh, like don't actually do it. Like don't actually sacrifice Isaac. But I feel like, see, the thing about, and that's why I was like, this is interesting. I feel like this is going to be very interesting because it's like Spirit tells you to go up the mountain with Isaac. Spirit tells you to lay him down. Spirit tells you to sacrifice him. And now all of a sudden, Spirit is telling you to do something that stands in direct opposition to these other three things that Spirit told you to do. Now, logically, someone could say like, oh, that must be whatever trying to keep me from doing whatever spirit told me to do. I'm gonna go ahead and sacrifice Isaac because they already basically already told me to get him all the way up the mountain. But then if that would have happened, it would have been like no, like you weren't supposed to actually do it. Like you were like it's. And then people are like, it's either you get it or you don't. But this is the card that was at the top of the deck when I finished. And I don't like this card because I don't like whatever that is. And I remember this from a while ago. And this is the Eight of Cups coming after the Seven. On the back of the Eight of Cups is somebody making a wish on a star. On the front, it's whatever this is. Man. All the decks I use are out of rotation right now. This is sad. I can pull a Wisdom of Lord Ganesha card. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Because I'm like, I don't know. Let's see if Lord Ganesha got any guidance for us. Oh snap! What is this? 11. Is this Justice? I've never seen the front of Justice in this deck before. I don't think. I've always seen the back. The front of the Justice card was laying on the table. No, the back of Justice was in the reading, but here's the front. So it's like, things still gonna work out the way they're supposed to, but what am I reaching for? Oh yeah, the Wisdom of Lord Ganesha. Let's see. Let's see if Lord Ganesha got anything for us. Oof, okay. Come on, crew. For the collective, the crew for the collective are collective angels, guides, guardians, overwatchers, or overlookers, or people who want us to do good but can't do it for us. Just gotta hope we make the right choices. Do y'all got one card, or two cards, or even the whole gosh darn deck to help this collective? Because I feel like they're gonna need it. I feel like they're gonna need it. I've never there's a blank card in this deck. I've never gotten it, but it would be so funny if it came out. Not funny, but I just be like, ooh, well. All right. I'm gonna give it 3 cuts, and I'm gonna take whatever's at the top. Hey, it's not the blank card. So let's see what it is. Nurture. Huh. Who is this? Nurture number 38. 38 is an 11. We got Nurture. There's a lot of red here. Lots of red here. And this speaks to the root. So, for the people who have been doing that deep healing, like that deep, deep, deep healing, for the people who have been restructuring the way, and then energetic movement is at the bottom of the deck. Energetic movement. For the people who have been doing that deep, deep, deep healing, who have been rewiring and restructuring kind of sort of the way that they do things, there's going to be a greater chance for success because when you change the way you operate from the foundation, it's like, I don't know how to put it in a way that's less computery, but it's like, you upgrade and update your operating system. And so Neptune is going to be coming in with these Neptune is coming in with old, outdated programs anyway, right? That's how we know it's like sand. That's, karma coming back. And it's so interesting that, I guess we have heavy retrograde points every season, but it's so interesting that, at the end of 2019, everybody was like, we're clearing a decade's worth of karma. We're clearing a decade's worth of karma. And then And look at 2020. Ooh. And it's like, okay, but did you clear that? Because Neptune and Mars is going to be coming around asking. All these retrogrades, they're going to be coming around asking. These eclipses, they're going to be coming around asking. Did you really close out those cycles? I don't know. That's the you question. Number 38. Ooh, this is a two-pager. This is a two-pager. I need to turn up my peaceful meditations. Okay. I'm calm now. So, focus on creating a calm and balanced life for yourself. Ganesha asks you to maintain a compassionate, nurturing, realistic, and down to earth attitude when it comes to collaborating with others and your present conditions. You can benefit from being more resourceful and and practical. This is a time of slowing down and biding your time and resources. What? Biding your time and resources. Deal with any issues that arise and brainstorm practical and easy solutions that will fix the problem with minimal drama. Be careful of giving too much without regard for your own needs. If you have been feeling exhausted or have been prone to illness, you are invited to stop doing so much for others and do more for you at this time. Okay, so this card is basically telling me I ain't uploading no more. I was already kind of sort of feeling it, but I was like, I'll do it anyway. But this card is like, if you feeling tired, bruh, stop and do for yourself. So I might finish the rest of the Zodiac for the retrograde stories. I might not. I mean, I only got a few people who watch me anyway. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't have any obligation to the collective. I mean, I really don't. I don't too much feel obliged to the collective at large. I guess let me finish this first because I don't want to derail this moment. Um, let's see. If you've been feeling exhausted or have been prone to illness, you are invited to stop doing as much for others and do more for you at this time. Do not seek empowerment by doing for others. Wait, what? Yeah. Do not seek empowerment by doing for others from a place of needing acknowledgement. Empower yourself by nurturing yourself and then, from a healthy place, help others. Well, I guess I don't need acknowledgement, so I don't know. I don't know. Learn to nurture and to create occasions for others to grow by offering a safe, accommodating energy. This energy is the energy of the heart chakra. As your life comes more into alignment with your soul purpose, you bring this nurturing and unconditional love beyond your immediate surroundings and out into the world. The female figure in this card is Ganesha's mother, Parvati. Parvati? Parvati. Oh, sorry. She represents a strong female figure in your life that you may look to for extra support and guidance. This could be any female role model, friend, or acquaintance that you find yourself drawn to at this time. Alternatively, Parvati can represent a part of yourself, especially when much of your time is spent focusing on the nurturing and caring of others. Okay, well, shoot, I don't know. Okay, so basically, like I was saying, I don't feel no responsibilities to the collective because it's like, I don't know. It's like if you made your bed, you got to lie in it at this point. All of this retrograde stuff is about karma. And it's like, I don't know. I just know that like I'm a much I don't know. It's just I guess I don't want to say I don't have the patience for it. You know what? Maybe that's the reason why I've been uploading so much for a minute. I feel like I've been uploading nearly every day for quite a minute now. And maybe the fact that I'm feeling like I should be doing this means that I do actually owe the collective in some ways a little bit of whatever. I mean, because ultimately at the end of the day, I want us to do well. And I want us to, especially at this time where the canvas is as close to blank as it's going to get, and as many things are being sort of exposed and brought to our awareness, as are being brought to our awareness and as are being exposed, we have this opportunity to kind of sort of do things right. And we don't know what it's going to look like. We've never really completely overhauled or redone our systems, but if ever there was a time to do it, it's now. And it's like, everyone's like open back up, like normalcy, return to normalcy, blah blah blah, but it's like we can do better than normal. And that's what my hope and my prayer for the collective is. And so I guess I shouldn't be like I'm over it, but at the same time it's like, what can you do? People are going to do what they do at the end of the day. Can't really do much else. But I don't know. I just don't. I try not to like get too far into it because it's like I get frustrated. Top of the deck as I put these away. Blessings number 44. Master number 44. Ganesha bringing the blessings. Okay, so maybe that means if I want to get them blessings, I got to keep uploading. And then inner knowing. Inner knowing is at the bottom of the deck, number 17, with blessings at the top of the deck. So if you know that your blessings are coming in, act accordingly. If you know that they're right there, if you know they are there, act accordingly. And don't let them pass you by. And like I said, it's like I feel like it may be for us to create our own option. The eighth cup, where the seven cups are being presented, is for us to go our own path. And then the eight of cups came out later, right? With the sun and the moon and the top. And I was like, I don't like that. That's about us sort of creating our own path and not taking what's offered to us. But whenever I do that from now on, I'm just gonna forget about trying to say whatever I was saying. But with that inner knowing and with that blessing card, it's about us going for what we know is ours. And not what looks good, not what feels good, not what's a good sort of like what's the word for a bandage, but the bandage is like a drink or a piece of cake or something in the moment that you don't really want, but you want it because it's there and it'll kind of make you like feel something. Um it's like not to fall into vices at a time like this when we are so close to everything coming out. And honestly, sometimes those options aren't options. Sometimes those options could just be us being stuck in fear, being stuck in indecision, being stuck in whatever we've always been stuck in. It's time to step outside of the box and it's time to begin to move. Because when all the craziness starts to go down, you don't want to be in the way. And I ain't jumping in front of nobody karma buses. I've already done basically kind of sort of cut ties. I'm just like, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen to whoever it happens to. And I'm gonna just try to make sure I'm in the right over here. I ain't got time to be worried about other people. And that's what that nurturing card was saying. And I feel like sometimes, the best way to care for someone is to let them learn their lessons. Um, because again, it's like sometimes experience is the best teacher and it can teach a lot more, a lot better than words can. So we'll see where it ends up. I actually want to pull another deck. I am not going to be on here for extremely too much longer, but I do want a deck that's a little less dense. I didn't expect all that. I don't know what I expected, but that was not it. There is so much happening right now. It's like everything is happening on top of everything. And I guess I should have known that. But man. Also, I just figured out I have another trine in my birth chart. I have a grand air trine with my south node. I forgot about my south node. With my north node, I have a grand fire trine. With my south node, I have a grand air trine. I have placements in all of the water signs, even though I have a Pisces Cancer trine and a Pisces Scorpio trine, but I don't have a Scorpio Cancer trine. But I have a like Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and then I have a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Oh, nice. Oh, perfect. And I'll get the energy oracle cards. It just hit me yesterday. I was like, what? I do have that right there. I was like, yeah, duh, hello. It's been here forever. I got a lot of trines, but to make up for all the trines I have in my chart, I have just as many squares. So I have a grand fixed cross, I believe, 23 and 17. It's loose-ish, but I have a grand fixed cross. And then I also have I don't have a grand cardinal cross because my Cancer and Capricorn, the opposition is too loose. But I have that big old square in my chart. So I have placements in all the cardinal signs. I have placements in I have placements in every sign except for Virgo. So, like, but it's time for me to resolve those squares and but squares teach lessons. So, hey, I ain't too upset about it. Just got to learn them, you know? Not using those. I do want to find these energy oracle cards though. So give me a second. Oh, I want to use these. Yes. I'm using these Spencer's tarot cards instead. Y'all want to get silly? Y'all want to get goofy? Let's do some novelty readings. So I'm going to pull a card for the people in the chat room. It says I have 2 people up there right now. So for the first person, and y'all decide who's number 1. Okay, well, first person, you get a few cards. You get 2 cards. You get the Fool and the High Priestess in reverse. So, bottom of the deck is the 2 of Swords, Ghost. Ooh, you ghost somebody? Person number 1? Somebody that you may want to return to now, but you walked away from in the past. I feel like the difference. So, this is an all upright deck, by the way. The High Priestess just flew out and tumbled in the air and turned upside down. But with the Fool and the High Priestess, I feel like this is about acting on things. It's like you're acting on everything except for the things that you actually want to act on. Because it's easier to do everything else than it is to do the thing that you actually know you should be doing right now. And coincidentally, the thing that you know you should be doing right now is probably the thing that you want to do the most. But instead of doing that, you're deciding to do everything else. You're kind of sort of distracting yourself. And why? I feel like you want to do it. So why wouldn't you do whatever you really want to do? All right. So for the second person in the chat, let's see. Let's do this again. I'm going to do one for myself. Read me. Okay. Let's see if something wants to come out. I love these cards. Ooh, okay. So the 3 of Pentacles, Dwarf, and Judgment, Cerberus, and the Dwarf came out. This is heavy Scorpio energy, heavy Plutonian energy, because again, dwarfs are like little Plutos. They live underground. That's why they're so wealthy and a lot of high fantasy, because again, underground, that's where you get the precious gems, ores, minerals, diamonds, gold, oil, rubies, emeralds, sapphires. All of that come from underground, and they're very industrial at the same time. And then you have the Cerberus, which is the guard dog. I feel like this is speaking to anything that you want is being gate kept right now by Cerberus, and you're kind of sort of gonna have to prove yourself worthy to get it, because it's like, this dwarf is like, okay, I'm off to go to work, time to go dig up some diamonds and some gold and some other stuff, and Cerberus is like, no, you don't. Where are your papers? Where's your authorization? Who are you? I ain't never seen you around here before. And you're like, what are you talking about? I'm literally born from the earth, man. I'm a dwarf. Bottom of the deck is the Eight of Wands, Hydra. I feel like that speaks to lots of difficulties. Usually the Eight of Wands is fast movement, but I mean, you see that dude facing off against all 8 heads of this Hydra. And once you cut off one head from the Hydra, at least 2 more grow in its place. Right. And so I feel like that's all about, I don't know. It's like your abundance is being gatekept until you can prove yourself responsible. It's like, we're not going to give you a credit card until you can prove that, you cannot run up your debit card. Because with the debit card, that uses money that you already have. It's like you're not even responsible enough with the money that you already have. Why would we give you a line of credit? Like, we're the ones that's going to have to pay the bill ultimately at the end of the day. So, but yeah, let's see. What do I get? What comes out for me? What about me? Give me something. Give me something good. Ooh, the Six of Wands, Golem. Ooh, and the Ten of Swords, Griffin. That's interesting. Ooh, bottom of the deck is that Sun card, Phoenix, though. I used to see the Phoenix quite a bit in this deck. This is interesting, though. The Golem and the Griffin. 2 G's. $2,000 coming my way, maybe. 2 grand. I'll take it. Six of Wands, Golem, and the Ten of Swords, Griffin. The Golem is interesting in this deck because the Six of Wands is a card of victory. Maybe this is a successful undertaking with the magic dude down here successfully making this golem, but golems are empty. They're soulless creatures. They're animate, but they don't have any souls. They just follow orders. And then you have this griffin here. That's the Ten of Swords. It's all about endings. And I think it almost looked like it was tied up for a second. Almost looked like it was tied up for a second, but not chained to anything like it used to be. So in the spaces that used to be hollow, it's time for some fulfillment to come in. I mean, the sun was the message at the bottom of the deck. So it's time for some fulfillment to come in means of soaring over everything that ails and worries. It's almost like this golem was created. Oh my gosh. So they say that the Venus retrograde is linked to whatever space you were in 2012, right? And I got a memory on Facebook that I believe it was yesterday or the day before. I can't tell. Days blend in nowadays, I guess. It was either yesterday or the day before. I got a memory. I think it was like May 21, 2012. I uploaded a status that was like, I'll just find it. I'll read it. Because I was like, wow, this is so interesting. Because that means I've done exactly what I was supposed to do. Okay, that's Kiati Pamu Pamu. So, May 21, 2012. I said, there's a lot of change that I want to make, a lot of things that I want to undo. I know I'd be opening myself up to the hurt that I rewired myself to avoid feeling, but I'm starting to want more out of me. And I know that the only thing limiting me is me and my laziness, lol. So, still dealing with procrastination. But I mean, not still dealing with it. I've made leaps and bounds in that area as well. But yeah, like the way that I had hardwired myself to sort of avoid emotions and to distance myself from other people and to not need people, it was time for all of that to come to an end. And by putting that to an end, it's like I've gained wings and now I can fly and soar and I have a soul again, which is nice. And it's not that I didn't have one before. but it's just that like I never listened to it. I never did the things that I actually wanted to do. I never did the things that would make me happy. I honestly did the opposite. And now, with the Sun card, I am the phoenix that has risen from the ashes. And this is interesting because these two cards came out. It was the Six of Wands, the Sign, and the Devil that came out in daily upload number 3, I believe. I have a playlist for the daily uploads on this channel from the Legacy channel. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I'll be able to tell by the title. So, daily. Was it no? I don't have the daily. I don't have the daily uploads on this channel. I only have the daily bites. Well, maybe it was a daily bite. Let's see. Girl, ooh, girl. That's awkward. That's so awkward. How long has that been in there? How long has that been in there? There is a video that was not a daily bite in my daily bite playlist, and I just noticed it. So that's cool. No, it wasn't a daily bite. Oh, stop. It was a daily upload. And I don't have the daily uploads playlist on this channel. It's on my Legacy channel. I actually don't have a playlist for them, which is interesting. I can't believe I had that video in there, and I just now noticed it. Oof. I'm gonna find it. I might link it in the description for this video. No, I won't, because these are my cards, so I don't have to link it because this is for me, and I already know. So yeah, I'm the phoenix that has arisen from the ashes, and they say that it's a similar space to 2012 this time, but it's going to be the flip. And so back then, I wanted to be. I was in a space of realizing how miserable I was. That was after my first semester of my first year of college, which was terrible. Terrible. I met a really, really, really cute dude who was a Gemini. He had his eyes were like so blue and so piercing, and he was so nice and so awesome. And now I'm like, oof. I mean, he's still pretty cool, but sometimes I'm just like, oof. It's like, oh. It's like, when you ask a question, sometimes you should just wait for the answer to the question instead of providing an answer. Um, Especially if you want to be super stereotypical, right? It's like, just ask the question. But anyway, what is this? The Moon card, Werewolf. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Swords. It's time to go werewolf hunting. Hopefully that werewolf ain't somebody that you know. I don't know. What else am I gonna do with this? I'll pull a spread. I'll pull a few cards. Let's see. We'll do 1, 2, 3. We'll tell a story. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. I may just stay on until the second hour is up, and then I'll close it. Oh, it's 1:11 a.m. Eastern. Maybe I should just go to sleep. What was I talking about? Yeah, my first year, my freshman year of college was terrible, and I had realized at that point that things needed to change. I needed to change, and I proceeded to not change until like 2018. So, but now that I'm here, it's like I don't know. I can go even further. I don't know. So the three cards that came out are this Four of Cups Ghoul. Talked about the ghouls earlier. The Ace of Wands Salamander, and I talked about this because I've been seeing the Stronghold of the Flames a lot. And the King of Cups Orc. Why is the King of Cups an orc? Four of Cups, Ace of Wands, King of Cups. The tail resumes. The salamander's tail it was cut off. So we have the Four of Cups, cut the salamander's tail. Salamander's tail grows back, King of Cups. Somebody is a King of Cups orc now where they used to be that Four of Cups ghoul. And the thing about the ghoul is like they're basically like dead, right? Maybe not, because they're not zombies, but they give me zombie vibes. And so, just like how I was kind of sort of not alive in the past, someone else is about to be coming alive. We have the Seven of Pentacles Gremlins, the Eight of Pentacles Zombie. Well, there's the zombie. And the Four of Swords Vampire sitting on top of these. Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Four of Swords. Someone has mastered whatever it is that they were out to master. I'm actually going to shut it down after this because, I could just go to sleep. Somebody has mastered whatever it is that they were sort of planting. And now that they've mastered it, it's like they are waiting for that eclipse. So the eclipse would be the only time vampires would be able to walk in the daytime. Stereotypical vampires, not Twilight shiny vampires, right? Because there's like limited sunlight and they'd only be able to be out for a little bit. But while the eclipse is in effect, the vampires would be able to be out in the middle of the day. So maybe they celebrate on those days. It's like, yeah, we get to pretend like we're normal today because it's the middle of the day and we're not piles of ash outside. But then you better hurry up before the moon move. But this speaks to waiting. And again, it was like that Four of Swords that was all about waiting. See, sometimes the best option, what was it? The best course of action is inaction. And it's all about being still when you know you're supposed to be still and moving when you know you're supposed to move. And so it's like, you planted the seeds with the Seven of Pentacles, and the seeds have grown with the Eight of Pentacles, but you can't yet harvest whatever it is. Even though the season of reaping is now, you can't yet harvest whatever it is. Because if you were to move right now, you would be discovered. Excuse me. And it's not that you're hiding, but it's just like it's not the time. Even though it is the time to move now, it would still be premature. Maybe the burden of movement is on the other side, right? Because you see, there's this vampire chilling, and then there's the bats that are still flying in. Or that one bat. Yeah, there's a few bats. So he's there waiting. Now the other bats are going to come in to resume whatever this is. And then I'll pull three more to wrap up these. I don't know what I'm doing. I might take a break. Maybe I'll just upload the 2 a day and chill on these because, things are about to get crazy. So it's too much. I'll do top, middle, and bottom. Top is the fairy. The tooth fairy, the star card. Dreams do come true. If you were wishing for a quarter for your tooth, the Six of Cups, Guinea green teeth, or Jenny green teeth, I don't know. She's not actually great. She drowns children, apparently. Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups, Leviathan. We have the Star, the Six of Cups, and the Ten of Cups. Left at the bottom of the deck is left at the bottom of the deck. Left at the bottom of the deck is this death card, which is all about transformation. I think this period of transformation is complete because we start with the Tooth Fairy, right? You've lost the tooth. You've gone through the transformation. The tooth fairy is here to give you your quarter now. So what she's gonna take is whatever this childhood trauma was, especially if you've done inner child healing. What the tooth fairy is gonna take is all of that pain that you sort of uprooted, exposed, and excavated. And then in its place, she's gonna leave you this 10 of Cups, which is happiness and fulfillment beyond your wildest dreams, because you did the hard stuff. Now, for the folks who are supposed to be, I guess I will pull these because I already had them, so not quite done yet, but I still have 14 minutes, 14 and a half minutes. I'm going to pull these Witches Tarot cards to I'm curious because I feel like there are those who would step into certain positions right now. Top of the deck is the Seven of Pentacles again, Gremlins. And bottom of the deck is the Four of Cups, Ghoul. The Gremlins, Seven of Pentacles is all about little changes that you can make. I feel like one gremlin isn't necessarily that bad, but when you get a whole bunch of gremlins, that's when it's really an issue, right? And then with the Four of Cups, Ghoul, it's about leaving the past in the past. And the Four of Cups, a lot of times, is a space of operating in your default mode when something new is being presented to you. It's you not taking it and continue to do whatever you used to do when you could do something new that's actually fun. Something fun and exciting. Something cool that would make all the dogs drool. So these I want to pull for the people, and then the star is at the top of the deck as I pull this out. I love it. Confirmation. And then there's that Four of Cups again. The star and the Four of Cups. For the people who may be guides or mentors or people to look up to in these times, stars in the dark, if you will. Because I feel like there's the Tower and the Two of Swords. What are those people to do? For the people who have a purpose, it is time to step into it. The time to act is now. If you've got a mission, it's time to get on that mission. If you got a mission with somebody else, you could get on that too. But before y'all can do a solo or before y'all can do a joint mission, y'all gotta, get back on the same page again. So as soon as you want to begin that, bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups. As soon as you want to begin that, I'm ready. Let's go. Six of Wands came out. Quite a few cards came out. Six of Wands, Page of Wands, Eight of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. So I feel like it's almost reading backwards. Maybe someone who was a little bit more focused on the Pentacle in the past is coming. It's like they're exiting that mindset and coming into this mindset of pursuing something else that will lead them to this victory. Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups because the Pentacles are important, but what's also important is the connection. And if you're focused on the Pentacle, then it's easy to miss out on the value of what you already have in front of you. And Pentacles can always be acquired later, or as you go about doing whatever. That's not quite the message I wanted. So I don't know if I'll be able to get this deep. This is something I would use the SKT for, but I don't have the SKT. So, I mean, I guess there isn't really anything to say. Because for the people who have a purpose right now, or for the people who are helping people right now, or for the people who are innovating right now, for the people who are creating right now, they're already doing it, or they already know what it is that they're supposed to do. Spirit would have revealed that to you. That ain't something that you necessarily ask somebody else about. So, yeah. Top of the deck. Love it. As I'm putting these cards away, the star pops out right back on top. But this time, instead of the Four of Cups, no, the Four of Cups was right behind the star. I don't remember what was at the bottom. The Hierophant is at the bottom of the deck now. The star is at the top of the deck. The Hierophant is actually the High Priest, right? Instead of, and then the King of Wands and the Page of Swords is behind the High Priest. Oh, look, there you can see the Key of Silver and the Key of Gold, with silver being the moon and gold being the sun. But that Hierophant, that's divine complementarity. That is two people who are both gifted and talented who come together as a single united force to bring about some kind of change. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, they got a purpose. One of them knows what it is, if not both of them. But it's time for them to come together, I believe, and it's time for them to start getting busy, because it's almost like, before you go out into the world and do whatever, you want to be a united front first. So anything that needs to be reconciled between the two of you, anything that needs to be healed, anything that needs to be settled upon, uh, that needs to happen before you go out and do whatever it is that you're trying to do or doing. Ooh, 123 Eastern. Boom. And I'm going to shut this down here. Have a good whatever, whenever you see this. I'm going to get some sleep tonight. I'm going to wake up refreshed. I'm going to be productive tomorrow. And I'm going to have a gosh darn great day. And I hope you have whatever time you want to have. And I hope that, wow. One of the symptoms is a lack of taste. And I was talking about eating sand and not even knowing that you're eating sand. That's interesting. All right, I'm going to shut this down now. Have a keep great of it. What?